Hi everyone, welcome back. And today let's dive into something everybody pushes aside but is very crucial. Yeah, this is nothing but your retirement planning. Whether you're in 30s, 40s, or even at the start of your career, it is very important to plan your retirement. And this is very important with respect to having a financial discipline and to have confidence in the things that you actually want to spend, as well as to have peace of mind in the later point in life. But I understand this could be very challenging to people who are not close to finance or normal people. And it's very difficult to project the expenses or discount the things which are like 50 or 60 years ahead. So that's why I come up with this kind of a tool, which is very easy to use and very portable that you can use it anywhere, as it's just an Excel file tool where you can actually find out how much of a corpus you actually need by the time of your retirement. And not only that, it tells you how much you need to invest every month. So, in a fact, it helps you to plan your monthly budget, and you will really have a confidence in what you're valuing and what you actually want to spend, rather than thinking, hey, like, will I get overboard with respect to my retirement planning, or will I be underestimating my retirement planning? So let's deep dive into this tool. So this is the retirement calculator that we are talking about. And in this calculator, you have two tabs or two sheets. So first tab is a area where you need to summarize all your lifestyle situation with respect to your age, your expenses, the plannings that you need to do, and details tab actually calculates everything for you. So you don't need to input anything in details tab. And with respect to the summary tab, you only need to input a few fields here. That's exactly saying around 10 fields here. So what all you need to input? So let's assume a case of a couple, and this couple has average age of 32 and they want to retire at 56, and the life expectancy that they put for them is around 90 years of age. So we assume the long-term inflation in the economy as 7%. So suppose that couple assumes it as 8%, they can edit actually. So we assume it as 7% as of now. And the present living expenses for that couple is 1 lakh. Now this row actually captures reduction in expenses after retirement. So mostly a couple or somebody wouldn't require the same expense post your retirement, because there will be a lot of expenses such as rent that you would require to stay at a place of work, or office commute expense, or children's education at the time of working, and once you retire that would not be required. So this couple doesn't require 1 lakh after retirement, they just require around 70,000. So they are expecting a 30% of reduction in their expenses post retirement. And their expected return on investment during the working period is 12%, because primarily they are investing more into equity during that period. So post retirement, obviously you cannot invest too much into equity, because the return series of returns just after retirement would impact your portfolio a lot. So a good assumption would be, okay, like 40% is going to equity and another 60% is going to debt. So an average return that the couple would get is say 8%. So that I've put it as 8%. And the current savings for the retirement phase is 30 lakhs. So this couple already has 30 lakhs of investment set aside for their retirement, and they expect a 50 lakhs to come in as a retirement benefit at the time of their retirement, that is at 56th age. So why the reason why I shown this field in a different color is this field doesn't capture the value of money at this point in time. So this 50 lakhs is going to come in after 24 years, that's at the time of their retirement. But if you look at all the other numbers in this table, it's all as of now point in time. Now the corpus set aside for next generation in today's terms. So this is a field actually I want to capture the Indian mentality of setting aside something for their kids, and I purposefully kept this amount also in today's terms because it's very easy for the user to think through in today's terms or today's value of money. So in today's value of money, they actually want to set aside 50 lakhs of rupees for the next generation, obviously. So this is 50 lakhs is going to be much higher amount by the time of their age becomes 90. Now these are calculated fields and nothing, you don't need to input anything here, and this is the place or dashboard where you will get all your results. So what this calculated fields are calculating, so this is first one is calculating your living expenses in the first year in a monthly manner. So that means this 1 lakh becomes 70,000 once you retire because you expect a reduction, and this 70,000 becomes 3 lakhs 31,000 during your first month post retirement. And when you project that into the year of first year post retirement, this comes around 39.8 lakhs. A number of years after your retirement is 34. That's nothing but the difference between your life expectancy and your retirement age. Now let's see how the calculations are being done. So if you go to this sheet, you can see a lot of uh, columns, that's year cycles, projected yearly expense. So let me walk through these things for you. So how the calculation would happen is, so the retirement year, that is 24 years from now, that is from 2025, 24 years means 2049. So that is their 0th year or the first year of their retirement. So we put the numbers or index from 0. That means when you actually go to age 90, that will be like year cycles of 33. So the concept of year cycle is, since here you have like 34 years after your retirement, that means there will be 33 year cycles of inflation. That is, inflation is going to hit you 33 times. So that's the meaning of this year cycle index. So this captures all your years from the time of your retirement to the time of your 90 years of age. And here one interesting aspect is the calculation is actually happening in the opposite way, because the calculation starts from your 90 years of age and then it's back calculate how much you would require at the age of your retirement. So end of year balance at 90 years of age is nothing but the projected number of this 50 lakhs that you need to keep for your next generation up to 90 years, right? That means from today that the couple is at 32 years of age and they are projecting it till 90 years of age. That means after 58 years, this 50 lakhs that you want to keep for next generation is going to be around 25.3 cr. So this is the end of the year balance that you would require, and this is a start of the year balance that you would require, and start of the year balance is nothing but the end of the year balance discounted for the expected return that you would get post retirement. So in this case it is 8%, right? So we have put it as 8%. Now projected yearly expense, so this is an expense that gets compounded every year with respect to inflation. So first year you would require 39.8 lakhs. So that is the 39.8 lakhs. So next year you would require a 7% increment to that. That is 42 lakhs. Likewise for the next year. So every year 7% of expense increment is taken. Now at the last year we have this much of yearly expense. That yearly expense comes around 3.7 crores. Now, when you actually add this yearly expense to the start of your balance, you would get the end of your balance for the previous year. And that's how we kind of back calculates these numbers for all these 58 years. And when you do this back calculation for your 0th year, which is the retirement year, you would see this much of an expense you would require and this much of a start of the year balance you would require to sustain your retirement. So your corpus that you would require is nothing but the sum of these two. So the sum of these two is nothing but 13.5 CR. But out of this 13.5 CR, we already have 50 lakhs, that's 0.5 CR coming from your retirement benefit. So basically, you want to plan for additional corpus of 13 crores. And for this 13 crores, how much of a monthly investment that you would require at the assumed rate of return that's achievable to you, that is 12 percentage, is 56.5 thousand, right? It's nothing but 56 589 rupees. So you would have to basically save this much every month and invest into few securities or few mutual funds or whatever the instrument you would like, which would fetch around the rate of return you assumed. So essentially, it is saying that your present monthly expense is 1 lakh and you would have to save or invest this much. So that means you would require a 1,56,000 or 57,000 of income to sustain this retirement planning. And this tool is very powerful in the sense you can change your, hey, like you want to change your retirement age to say 60 and see what's the impact. So if you changed it to 60, obviously the corpus required is slightly higher, but the investment that you required in a monthly basis comes down. So as you are ready to work more years, your investment requirement will come down. But I would actually suggest you to put conservative figures whenever you input numbers in this input field, because there is always a risk, right? There is always a risk of assumption. Now, one caveat that I would like to highlight is this calculator is only planning for your retirement. This doesn't capture your other expenses. Suppose you want to buy a house, or suppose you want to buy a car, or you want educational expenses for children, you need to plan it separately. But one good thing about this calculator is, suppose you want to include those expenses in this calculator, you can assume an EMI for that throughout the working period and you can add it as your expense. Suppose this couple, like we are keeping it as 56 years of retirement, likewise we explained before, and suppose this couple actually is buying a house and they are expecting for another 24 years until their retirement, they would have to pay a 50,000 of EMI. So that means this is going to be 1,50,000 their expense. You can put it like this. But they don't expect this EMI to come after their retirement. So post retirement, their expense is going to be 70,000. So let's see how much of the percentage reduction is there with respect to post retirement number. That means from uh, from 1.5 lakhs, you're subtracting 70,000, which is your post retirement expense, and that's 80,000. And you are seeing this is how much percentage of your present living expenses, which is 53%, 53.33%. So you can put it as like 53.33% here. So now it is telling you how much of an investment that you would require. You require again 56.5 thousands to be invested every month based upon this requirement. So that's how you calculate this thing. And one very good thing for this viewers is, if you actually want this calculator, because you can use it anywhere, very easy to use, it's completely customizable. What you can do is subscribe the channel and put a comment with your mail ID so that we can send you this tool so that you can use it anytime. Thank you.